Hi, I'm Coach Chris, and today I want to talk about confidence and mental toughness in running. Because are you struggling with your training at the moment, not getting PBs? It could come down to one of these two things. So let's talk about it.
Thinking back to my past, how important it is. I used to beat this individual on a weekly basis, even beat him a few weeks before the English schools. Whenever I run at the English schools, never used to run that well, used to come 120th, which is still a great result, but the person I used to beat on a regular basis used to come in the top 10. So for me, that all come down to confidence. I didn't have a lot of it when I was younger and never used to perform at the big events. As an adult, I've got abundances of confidence, but maybe just a lack of ability at the moment. I think these days it does make it more difficult because we've got so many stats out there that we never used to have. Our watch tells us, our stride length, our cadence, heart rate, what pace we're running at. And with all this information, it's very easy just to compare one run with another run. And when you do that, if you haven't performed as good as the run you did last week or the other day, then sometimes that can knock your confidence. In this video, we're going to put it kind of two ways. If you are a stato, then obviously I'll explain how I think you should go about it. Or if you're someone who not really into the stats, I'll put it another way for you. So if you are into your stats, as we call it, I don't know why I do that all the time, but who knows? Comparing your runs are never ever going to be like for like. So if you are going to run, say a 10 mile run one day and a 10 mile run another day, then it's best to actually put as much information as you can, i.e. how much sleep did you have? What did you eat? What was the temperature like? Was it humid? Was it dry? Was it raining? As much information as possible, because then you can actually compare the two runs and get a like for like. Because it's very easy, like I went on a run today, went on the run Wednesday, 22 degrees, felt fantastic. 10 miles, 7:30 pace, I had to keep on slowing myself down, breathing was great, but then roll on today, after I took yesterday off, 10 mile run, 22 degrees, really humid, and as we know, humidity and runners don't go. Wasn't enjoyable. So if I was to compare the two runs, then I'd kind of knock my confidence and go, I didn't run very well, blah blah. But in hindsight, obviously we can see why. The other side of doing it is, if we're not going to go with the stats side, is to go back to basics. As I say, once you're looking at the stats, then you can demotivate yourself. So if we stop using all those stats, go back to basics, as in why we started running in the first place. Get ourselves out on the runs to, the river, get yourselves out in the woods. If you can, and you're not worried about, uploading to Strava, but some of us think that, like myself, it's not on Strava, it didn't happen. If you can leave your watch at home, great, because we all know how far 4 miles is. We know how far a mile is. I know that a mile is from here to the shops. We all know these kind of points around. So if you can go back to basics, just run on the feel. We all know what an easy pace feels like. And then if you feel like you want to do a faster run, then do a faster run, but still stick to the the basic formula: one faster run a week, one long run, the rest easy runs, etc. Then you can slowly build that confidence and get back to running at your best. Because if we go back to the story at the beginning that I mentioned, if you haven't got confidence, you're not going to be training well and you're not going to be racing well. So as long as you're happy with your training and how it's progressing, then you would slowly obviously build that confidence, which you would call in on the race. If your training's going well, then your racing should be going well. So the other topic I just wanted to kind of touch on was kind of mental toughness, which obviously comes into racing. This is something that I lost over the kind of COVID period when not racing. When I mean by mental toughness, if you imagine you're doing a 5k race, we all get to about 2.5k, and that little thing in the back of our mind says, you can't do this, you need to stop, you need to walk, you just can't carry on. And you have to put that, push through that, put that at the back of your mind. So whether you're a new runner or whether you're an elite runner, we all get that little niggling little voice in the back of your head that's telling us we can't do that. And that's why the more you race, the more you can obviously put that, away. I don't even know what you do with it. Forget about it, don't listen to it. And then you will actually be able to, smash your time, because that's the most important bit in a lot of races, is that halfway point, because we all know that we can, finish the last mile, and we've always got a little bit extra. Have you got any stories that you could add in the comments, or let anyone else know where you struggle with your confidence, or you haven't performed at races but you perform in training? We're all different, but I think sometimes that we can get carried away with too many stats. We can compare ourselves to others, and it's a slippery slope. So sometimes, as I say, just take it back to basics, enjoy running, don't be a slave to your watch, and then that way there's only one way to go, and that's upwards.